Welcome to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus, and we are coming back here with our glorious Let's Play of... and we're going to continue with our design work for our upcycler, which is going to be cool, and we are landing here on Vulcanus. Again, Vulcanus is going to be our preferred planet. I have already gone out here and then paved the world with some new, very expensive blueprint. It looks absolutely atrocious, the way that it sort of sticks on top, but hey, we are now getting a space up here. So what we want to do is we want to make, let's just get that one. We want to make an upcycler of red circuits. And the reason why we want to do that is because we are going to need a lot of high quality red circuits for our module production. Every module tier requires red circuits, so red circuits are way overused for module production, and we want to build a really cool and awesome module production. So you can, and this is also what has been said, like, why am I not building this as part of the upcycler and just upcycling it immediately? That's because I want to keep things separate. If I start mixing things up with the basic red, green, and blue circuits that we needed for just building anything anywhere, which is here, including science maybe, then that's, if I start mixing that up with my upcycler, then suddenly I lose all of this and I don't have it available. So I'm going to build something that's completely isolated, that does nothing but upcycle. And that's going to be glorious. So that's, how does it work? Well, let me sort of characterize what it's going to do. This will be, it's going to start by upcycling here. Oh, let's see. Do I actually have something better? Let's also get the legendary ones as well, because why not? This one. Yeah, legendary. Good. Let's see. Do we get legendary? We got a few legendaries. Good. Good. We are trying to use as much as possible of the quality. We might have to make do with the rare ones instead of the epic ones, but let's see. So I want to make some that are like this. I want to make some that are the next tier up here, and I want to make another one here that is one more tier up as well, uncommon, and I want to make one more that is the epic one. And of course I'm going to get more than, and I'm going to be, and also lastly making that one, but that will have productivity. Do I also have productivity? No. Okay, let's see if we can get that as well from, let's see, that is Nebuchadnezzar, I think, is going to be here. You are now, oof, that's a lot of junk that's sort of hiding in here. There we go. We are going to get also some rare ones and also some epic ones, because you never know. You never know if they're going to be available. Good. Okay, so that will eventually get there, but the last tier will be, for now, just this one. So how does that work? I want to save anything that's rare quality or higher. Anything that's normal or uncommon quality, I just want to recycle it. So I'm going to put it into a recycler, which will be using the best quality. Yeah, because everything goes to the quality, and then it sort of goes in. So basically goes here, in here, and then if I put in some red circuits, then they will be starting to be deconstructed. So I might as well, I mean, if I wanted to do the red circuits, I could just leech some of this or build an extra column and then leech that in. But that's actually not what I want to do. I want to use, like, just produce a mass amount of green circuits and cabling, right? That's what I want to produce, so I can feed it into this loop. It does kind of bother me that I have this right here, and it's also coming in very nicely here. You know what? Maybe I should just say this one out here is then going to be the feeder, and then change this to a 1, 2, 3 to 8 build instead. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's do that. It feels wrong, but let's consider that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to build over here the recycler. Oh, we have problems on Aquilo. Oh, I knew that things were good. Oh. So much for my good intentions. We're gonna need to make an aggressive deconstructor of ice, and it's so weird that you can't throw the ice back in the ocean. Like, literally, it's just throw the ice in the ocean. Never mind, we can't do that. So we're gonna have to just do something along the lines of that. That's wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to do something here. So we found a use for this otherwise very idle space. So what are we doing here? We're just importing 500 ice and just destroying it. Basically putting into a box that's not part of the logistics network so that it can sort of alternate back into the other one. But then also just topping it up with more stuff. I was thinking if I could build another belt, but I don't think that actually makes sense. So this is just something that will unfortunately, it'll use some power, but that's not a problem. And it'll take some time. Also, not really a problem. We are down to 143, and we're checking out 10 of those in the time we had available. So that is good. That one is solving itself. And I've also constrained each of these boxes. They are connected here to the roboport. And then they're only going to be working until there's 10,000, because I always want to make sure there's 10,000 ice, because you never know what you're going to need the ice for. Right, where were we? We were here. Oh yeah. What were we doing? We're doing some recycling column here. Let's figure out how that's supposed to work. We're going to be making this, and I want to point these. I really don't want them to be built here. I'm going to be building them like that, because that's more likely. And they will be here, and they will be inbound from the side, and I will get some kind of input here. So how big is this going to be? I have no freaking clue. This is just one of those things where you build it and then you set it up and then you just try it out and see how big you want to make it. I don't know. Something. Now we're already running out, but we'll get more of these inbound. So what happens now is that it comes out from this location, and what happens after it comes out? Then I need to figure out, well, it will consist of the three things that make up the red circuits. So that's going to be, yeah, basically like these things. And it's coming out quite a lot higher quantity. So in one of these red circuits is actually 8 items. So even if we are only getting a quarter item, then we're getting more inbound. So if we get 1 line inbound, then 2 lanes outbound will be sufficient. So I want to just build this out and make it into a balancer. How do we do that? Then it's going to be like this. That's going to be the 2x2 balancer. That like this. So that is the 2x2 balancer. This one here. And then it comes out somewhere there. And then I will need to get into the first build. That's going to be just the basic ones, because they will have most of those. Let me try to sort of align it a little bit towards the other thing. Or actually just build it and then we'll align it afterwards. We're going to be taking this particular build here. It works very well, so why not recycle it? There we go. What the? Oh, that is an underground build. Oh, whew. I was just freaking out here. Let me make sure that this is taking all of that. Good. So that's going to be here. All right. Except we're not going to do that. Maybe I could do that just because, but generally I would want to have there, because we can't use speed modules for this. Then we'll destroy the quality. And then I just need inbounds here. And then let's see. Yeah, one is going to be. Let's try and see if we can get this in. Something like this. The inner ones will be in the mix. So that's one inbound, that's another inbound, and the last inbound will be... This is the copper wire. Oh, this is brilliant. Look at that. That's a nice distance. Here is another thing. So I am going to do... I'm going to filter out the copper wire. I'm going to filter out the plastic, I guess. And I'm going to filter out the greens. There. Here. Not going to do it from the other side. And they will go up here. Because then I do the same thing on the other side here on the next one. Next build here. Like that. I'm building it here. And I can then take this part and just move it one down. There we go. So what I've not done now is that I have consolidated. I've taken half of it in here, half of it in here. Perfect. Right. Well, there's something we're missing here. And that is when we feed red circuits in, then yeah, let's actually just feed in a full belt of red circuits, because this one can build a full belt of red circuits. Wasn't that what we designed it for? I think so. So almost full belt of red circuits, I think. That goes in, topped up with whatever here. That means this build will go out and around and then be sort of the lower priority. Okay, so how big do we want this? I am just leaning towards taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of these builds. And that's a little bit more than I have here. That's only 16, and this one was more. Why do I think I want more? I don't think I want more. I think we're going to start by doing this size, because I'm actually running out of modules, and I can't really get enough modules. So we're going to make it a little bit more modest here. That's the more modest setup. And we can already see that we don't have that. Oh, we have something here. Nebuchadnezzar is unable to run. I'll just see what that is like. That is... oh, yeah, we increased our production on here. So I'm actually just going to go set another condition. This is a condition that I will have on all of my ships moving forward. That they will either be... they'll have this setup. Either all requests and the 3 launch conditions, or waiting 120 seconds and then all the launch conditions. Good. And then it goes back to Novice. That's excellent. Yeah. And that should already be for all of them. So, yeah. Someone will fix that sometime in the future. This part out here goes out and goes into a box like that. And... I think I actually want it to be a balanced box, or a balanced belt, this part. Each location here must be balanced. There we go. And this comes out, and then it goes back into here, like that. And let's actually make it 1 over. And then I'm also going to get you, which will go in on the other side. I don't want to put things in just yet, but I want to prioritize stuff coming from our internal recirculation build, and then only topping it up with this one. Yes. Alright, going in and filtering out here. And going out, going over, and then build the same build that we have here. Let's use this one. I want to get this in as well. Yeah. How big do we want it? This is 1632. I don't know. I'm kind of struggling a little bit with the resources, so, or the modules, so I'm kind of have to cut some corners here. There we go. We're cutting some corners. That one is here, and these will now be. And I think this one should also be balanced. Do I need that? Not really, I think. And increase the... here. There you go. So they're all now the next tier. Then I'm going to do the same thing over on the next one. And then it's going to be the rare ones. Like that. And again, upscale here. Oh, right. I forgot something. That's actually fine. So here's the thing. Random chance. How does random work? Well, it's a surprisingly big question. On average, I will get an even amount of each of the 3 items that come in here. That's how averages work. Reality, though, is a little bit different. So I'm probably going to get a little bit more of one than the other. And if that sort of gets so much more that it sort of goes back here, then it blocks the belt and then everything jams. So I need to have some kind of buffer that can sort of handle the standard deviation that will happen in when there's some kind of random chance. And therefore I need to put a buffer on these chests. And I have a cool way of doing that. So the way I want to do it is I want to sort of say... we are by default jumping past. I think that's how much space I need. Or we are by default going... Let me see, what is it I want? No. I want to pick up stuff from here. And therefore I want to prioritize going through. Then I put it into a box like that. And that box has to go out in here. Like that. And that means you jump there. Perfect. Like that. What does that mean? This means that if the normal flow, it'll just pass through and go up. But if there's too much on this belt compared to the other belts, then it'll ease into the next one. It'll go into the box, and then it will sort of output on both sides. This also means that this actually works as a sort of a low budget balancer, because I can kind of get in here. It also just unfortunately means that I have to get a little bit more space for this, because they're a little bit, take a little bit more space here. There we go. And the last one here will go a little bit out on the other side, otherwise it just doesn't work. There. And then we're going to be milking this building here. And now the thing is, if I wanted to top up on either of those, then I'd have to top it up with a belt going in here. But I'm actually not going to do that, because we're not topping up with those resources, we're topping up with... let me see. We're topping up with red circuits there. Here and here and... Yes, that looks good now, right? Goes up, nice straight lines. There's some internal buffering. Cool. Let's get that for the other ones as well. I think we have something here, and I think we're ready. This is a smaller build, but we're also constrained by our modules availability here, and so I could make it a little bit bigger, but let's see. And this should start by just me floating it in here. Then we'll see what happens. It goes out. Then let's see if it can actually handle all of it. If it cannot, then that's a problem. It's a problem. All right. Okay, but let's just let it flow at least, and then see expand it as we can. We also don't have... Oh my god, that's a major issue. Oh wow, there was about to be a disaster happening. Okay, because what's the point? If I just recycle everything, it's gonna be bad, right? It's gonna be bad. So what I need to do is actually, I need to make sure that I filter out all the stuff that I need to filter out. That means I filter out anything that is rare quality or higher. Oh yes, there. And that goes out, and it's on a bypass. Yes. Whew. Okay, we can put it in again. And that goes out on a bypass here. Ooh. Oh, that bypass should actually go upwards, shouldn't it? Yes, it should. It absolutely should. Which means that this bypass should actually be here. Because I'm going to bring it up into some rocket launchers, and I will never have any high quality from here. From this part, that will always be low quality. So I'm going to need to build, well, something like this. Yeah. Let's do something like this, and then plop it down here. There we go. All right. And then I'll figure out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in exclusively... Oh, that's weird. That's a weird setup. Yeah, someone made some huge mess out of this. That can be fixed. All right, so I want to make sure that we are only going to get the blue quality in here, the rare quality, but then the epic and legendary quality will be just put in a box, and when it has enough, then it'll be launched into space. Let's do that. But the rare quality will be so much that it makes sense. Okay, so why are we not working? What is not working? It's outputting with right. See, that's not working. You cannot do that because it will output with higher quality. So you have to accept that belts are not going to be stacked. All right. So I need to fix that everywhere. There we go. We are going to be setting this one up, and we're getting the blue quality, the rare quality goes straight through, and the funny how that is here, because that's like the most useless thing ever. It's not going to need to launch very quickly, but we're getting a little bit of legendary red circuits and epic red circuits, and quite a bit of next kind of red circuits here, and that is also just a little bit silly to use stack inserters for this. It will never be quantities that need stacking. There we go. And then we are going to go see, this will be going through, and the other belt will be stacked. Oh, that's going to be a stack belt. But the only important thing is, can I process all of this? Yes. So I'm going to get this through, and then I'm just basically looking at two things. Can I consume all of it that comes in? No. So I can't consume a full stack belt. That's not a surprise, and it's not really intended. It is more important that the other thing that I should be looking at is how many of these are active. Like, ideally, all of them are active, but not overstacked. So that's what we are looking for here. You can see this one just doesn't really want to work. And why does it not want to work? It's simply because, I mean, it's getting there. There we go. It's slowly getting up. It's just, there's so little here that it goes in. I actually think I want to replace all of these with normal inserters. I think that it's a mistake to do stack inserters for this kind of thing. Stack inserters are great if you really want to hurry, but I don't want to hurry with this build. So we need to replace all these with non-stack, with just good old-fashioned bulk inserters here. Yeah, and here and here. So that's bulk inserters. I will also do bulk inserters over on other ones, because that's even more irrelevant to have stack inserters here. So there we go. So I got stack inserters everywhere. That should make it more even. What we're looking at here is actually that this is not working fast enough. So I probably need an extra one here. That's good news. I mean, it's good news from the sense that it means I need to build more. I'm actually producing more of these good ones here. So that's great. And I will just lead you out. Lead you back out. There we go. We really want all of this build to be active, and ideally we'd actually want to make it a little bit bigger than this, but yeah, well, actually I want to make it bigger. Yeah, because this was with speed modules, and I was kind of comparing like, oh, this one with speed modules? No, it needs to be bigger. So let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. That is 20 modules for one, and I only have 50, so I could actually make it just one module bigger for each. Let's try that. And then we also use our legendary, the very few legendary we have left. We want to use that for this part here. So I've now used all of the legendary and epic circuits I have. 4 measly circuits, quality circuits left. This is all we have, and until we can get some more. So this is it, and we now want to see how this actually flows. Like, obviously, with the support of a fully stacked red belt coming in here, it doesn't continue to be fully stacked, which is actually really nice to see that we're actually, that's actually interesting. Maybe I should actually be consuming for more of these. Oh wow, this is interesting. This is really interesting. So I was just leeching from one side, and now we're actually consuming so much that this lane here cannot keep up. That's great. We do not want to be in a position like this. This is the situation we don't want to be in. Yeah, so it's actually on a pretty good baseline right now. So maybe we will keep it like this, so that we take this out here, because it looks like if all of this is running, then we won't be able to output things fast enough. Now, we do like them being stacked here, because I mean they do have an opportunity to stack here. So they can actually stack things on top, and you can see some of these things should be a little bit stacked. There we go. There's some stacked coils here as well. So they can stack, not doing it very well, but they can. And flowing through, we're just gonna keep going. Let's see. Okay, so this one's now stacked up again. Interesting. And that's probably because we are getting now two completely full belts outbound. But they're flowing in here very nicely. What about, do they get all the way to the end? Yeah, barely to the end. Okay, so I think we're sort of hitting that balance where I can't really support anymore. When it's fully operational, I think I should have a little bit more. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modules. So that's 12 modules. Then I should have a third of that, because there's about a 24% chance of upcycling, or 25% chance of upcycling, and 25% repeating would be around a third. Just rough numbers here. So I should have a third of the higher tier available for the next tier down, which would also make sense. So these are all working. That's good, but I just want to make sure that they don't stack up, they don't jam. And we now have a lot. Let's actually see what our consumption or our production is. There's something here. There's something here. It's not a lot, granted, but these will inevitably, eventually, fill up, and then we can start launching it into space with a new rocket and a new ship that will be dedicated to just high quality circuits. But this looks quite nice. Let's have a look at our production for advanced circuits. Now that number is a little bit irrelevant because that is the other build, but what I really should be looking at is 23 per minute. That is not a lot over a 10-minute. Let's just go down here. Yeah, 29 per minute, so it's 1 every 2 seconds of the epics and 2.5 per second of the rares, and then a measly 1 every 30 seconds. That is not a lot, but as always with things in Factorio, time is your best friend, and this is the kind of thing where you build this and it works and you get something, and then all the something we get, all these are just going to go into making basically more quality circuits, which means we can make this even better and get a lot of more epic quality modules into this. We're of course also going to build this for blue circuits and green circuits as well. Green circuits less important, but I think it's still worthwhile. I think I can do it the same way, like also build the blue circuits up here, and then maybe the green circuits will have to find a way to build on top of this. Anyway, we have now built a grand upcycler for red circuits, and I'm really happy with it. Like, obviously it doesn't generate quite as much as I would like, but that's just the nature of quality. Everything is just, every quality step up is 1/4 of the value, or is 1/4 as abundant as the previous tier. So that's also kind of what we see here. So we'll just let it run, and then eventually we'll have something more. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button. This one, well, it's really hard to say what I should put in as a blueprint in the blueprint book. I can kind of put the whole thing in. Whether you want to put the whole thing in for yourself is up to you. You can also definitely make do with the rare quality modules. You can make do with any quality modules. It's just getting it started, letting it roll, and you know it's produced out of nothing. So it's free stuff. Don't worry about, oh no, I'm wasting resources. You're not wasting resources. This is perfectly fine. You're supposed to be wasting resources. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care and stay effective.